Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the City of Healing, where the city resides within. This is your sister, Sinette and Angela. Wanted to come forth and just do a brief review of the movie The Eternals. And for quite some time, I got in the notion that yes, that's going to be a movie that I'm going to go see. But first, I wanted to see the movie Ten Rings, but I didn't get a chance to. But this weekend, I had this long, I was like, I'm going to go to the theater. I hadn't been to the theater in so long. And as I mentioned before, movies, I love going to the movies. That's one of my favorite things. And I had not been to the movies for quite a while. So I decided to go to the theater to see this movie, The Eternals. And I'm glad that I did. I really liked the movie. And as I mentioned before, I'm not really a Marvels fan, but I do love sci-fi movies. And in anything that I look at, anything that I read, anybody that I listen to, any lessons in life, disappointments, happiness, I always find a lesson in it. Whether some people feel it's true or false, or just unicorns and fairies or whatever, I still get a very profound message from it. And from this movie, I did get a profound message. Just simple, but obviously it's not something simple that humanity has really grasped to do. And that profound, simple message is the art, the ability to love beyond yourself. And that's what I feel the true concept of the movie wanted us to grasp. And as I mentioned once before, I said it's amazing how nature and cosmos speaks through humanity, people, individual artists, to express a message. And I believe, that's what movies are written for. That's what books are written for. That's what different lessons in life were meant for, because it holds a profound message to the way we are supposed to get and learn in this aspect of our eternal life. And that Eternities movie is very, very profound, especially when they found out that they weren't really human, that they were basically robots. And it's interesting because in a few, and I don't remember the name of it, but I did a video once before. I was like, what if we found out that our supreme being is leading us back to who we are, or who that supreme being is, that being X technology? Because right now, that's greater than that of which we honor ourselves. Sorry about that. But anyway, that what I was saying, yes, it's driven more that we are becoming more and more technological. We are more so a technology type of planet as we continue to progress from the decisions that we have made, how we have evolved into the people that we are currently. But anyway, I really enjoyed the movie. The concept was great. The action was great. I really liked the fact, the symbology of the powers that they had were from light and energy. And that's how they basically fought, is with this light force. There are several characters. I don't remember all of their names. I was very intrigued with a couple of them, of course. Athena, the goddess of war, very interesting character. Also, Ithacus, even though he kind of betrayed them somewhat because he wanted to he wanted to stay honorable to his supreme being and follow through what he was sent to do. But in the end, he let love overcome him. Um, and he sacrificed himself to the son because either way, he didn't probably feel, I feel, that he was gonna be able to live with himself as to the decision that he made. So he chose not to have love because, even though he did love, he dishonored that love from, going against them and his higher power. And then my other favorite character is the gentleman the African American that held the 10 rings. Very interesting concept, especially from the thought that I wanted to see the movie The 10 Rings, and to see the holder of the 10 rings was a very profound concept as well, without giving away too much of the movie. But I really enjoyed the movie. I'm glad I got a chance to go and see it. I believe I will have to go and see it again because I remember even when I went to see one of my other favorite movies, which is Black Panther. When I went back to see it, I was like, man, I do not remember seeing that or getting another lesson from it. So I probably won't go to the theater to see it. It'll probably be on Hulu or HBO or something in a month or so, because things are moving real fast. So you don't really have to necessarily go to the movies. You can wait maybe a month and you'll be able to see it in your home. But anyway, the movie, wow, I really enjoyed it. It's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's definitely on the top 5 list of my favorite sci-fi movies. And people pick at me all the time, not necessarily pick at me all the time, like, why do you like sci-fi movies so much? Because it reminds me sort of not necessarily of just not, I'm beyond human as well, as I already know, and most of us are getting that now more than ever, that we're not just these physical suits, that we are also spiritual, and we live many, many lives, and the impossible is possible. And I've always been a daydreamer anyway, with a good imagination, and I like sci-fi movies. It just does something for me. I don't like fight movies necessarily, but the action packed and the concept behind it, which is the fight between good and evil, basically the same thing we're going through now as we continue to evolve. And it just reminds me of guardian angels. And then, of course, guardian angels do exist. And we have something besides ourselves fighting for us. This I know. And we do have some that are in the flesh that are fighting for us as well. It might not seem like it was as much it was back in the day. We had these profound leaders speaking up for us, and hopefully, this movie did some movement. The energy is still continued to rise up, and people will continue to rise up as well as the universe continue to speak to us through us, and maybe we will rise up to our greater good. Anyway, I just wanted to come forth and just share my thoughts or my view of the movie The Eternals, a reminder of who we are and the fight, the war that we are going through that we not necessarily can see, but we know is happening, of good and evil, and a reminder that we do have others that are fighting for us, those seen and unseen. And when will we all rise to our greater power and conquer the greatest vibration or frequency of the world? What would you do for love? Not just your loved one, not just your boyfriend, your wife, your husband. Will you go beyond that for, excuse me, humanity? And save the world? Would you do that? Who would? I ask myself, would I? Do I have that capability? And speaking through, the energy is so funny. People say, that this is a little trick. This is a little trick, I know. But people say that we speak through technology and it's evil and Facebook and YouTube this, but it all comes through nature. So nature and the sun is still working through. This is the sun. This is our higher power, supreme over this planet, which is the sun, and beyond that is the supreme being, God. But the sun, is the power of the world, even through Facebook, even through YouTube. That is nature still. So anyway, that's it for now. Wanted to come forth and just do my little brief review of the movie. Hope that you all are having a good evening. Take care and enjoy.